Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. So Michael at Val5Links posted this here on Twitter, guys. Senate banking chairman concerned by OCC's crypto charters. This from Sherrod Brown. He specifically pointed to the OCC trust charters granted to Paxos, Protego, and Anchorage. And here's what he had to say about this. So he is Senator Sherrod Brown from Ohio. The chairman of the Senate Banking Committee told acting comptroller Michael Hsu that he is concerned about the OCC's granting national trust charters to financial and non-financial companies. Some of the companies seeking OCC charters are unable to meet the OCC regulatory requirements, Brown said in an open letter, first reported by Politico. The lawmaker specifically pointed to the 3 crypto companies that have secured conditional OCC trust charters in the past 5 months, and then he named those 3 companies. These companies market their federally chartered status, he said. In other words, these companies suggest that the OCC's approval of their charter guarantees their business model is as safe, stable, and dependable for customers as a local community bank. So he is saying there should be more scrutiny here. The fact is, given the many uncertainties present in the digital asset landscape as identified by other regulators, the volatility of digital asset valuations, and the disproportionate influence individuals can have on entire cryptocurrency markets, the OCC is not in a position to regulate these entities comparable to traditional banks. So he's calling on the OCC saying, hey, look, you really do not have enough clout here to be able to do this, or you shouldn't have enough clout to be able to do this. Of course, Brown's letter comes on a day when there was extreme volatility in the crypto market. We don't have to go over that again. I did a video just kind of summing up my thoughts, guys, about what was going on yesterday. I'll link it up here in the top right-hand corner and what we could see next with regards to cryptocurrency. But anyway, Sherrod Brown pointing to the OCC saying, you know what? I think you guys are overstepping your boundaries. Meanwhile, what we are seeing is the OCC, Fed, and FDIC have been discussing forming an interagency policy team on crypto. This is another one brought to us by Michael at Val5Links here on Twitter, guys. And here's what they said. The Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, the Federal Reserve and Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, the FDIC, may set up an interagency policy team to examine the cryptocurrency sector. So this coming from acting comptroller Michael Hsu. He told a House Financial Services Committee hearing in Washington, D.C., that he had spoken with federal regulators about forming a sprint team around crypto, his response to a question from Tom Emmer. Prior to this meeting, he said, Vice Chair Quarles and Chair McWilliams and I had to talk about potentially putting together an interagency policy sprint team just on crypto because of exactly the concerns you have described. So, a sprint team. If you guys don't know what it is, it's basically exactly what it sounds like. What is a policy sprint? The policy sprint was positioned as the start of a project structured with fast learning cycles. So this is giving an example in this particular context, a holistic approach to understanding the experience of the target population and those around them. Lean Startup aims to identify customers' needs and test hypothesis by engaging them directly. So these guys are really looking to isolate cryptocurrency with regards to this financial framework and create a team dedicated to just that. So it's looking as though the U.S. government's still trying to kind of find their footing, I suppose, with regards to cryptocurrency adoption and the regulatory clarity. Meanwhile, this guy's from BANKXRP, Tom Emmer, to be named ranking member of the Subcommittee on Oversight and Investigation for the Financial Services GOP. Congratulations to Tom Emmer. And so he's just retweeting this out here. Honored to be named ranking member of the Subcommittee on Oversight and Investigations. I look forward to offering oversight to our financial regulators while continuing my focus on emerging fintech. We know Tom Emmer, very cryptocurrency friendly and understands, the technology behind it, understands that companies like Ripple, for example, can benefit the United States and, probably sees that it's a bit problematic when the SEC has companies like Ripple and XRP in court. Nevertheless, this is moving in the right direction. Here's some more Ripple and XRP partner news, guys. Airwallex rolls out online card payment system in Hong Kong. This just released today. So Airwallex, a global fintech platform, is excited to announce the launch of its online card payment acceptance solution in Hong Kong, allowing local merchants to accept online card payments made around the world using Visa and MasterCard. So being an international gateway between China and the rest of the world, and one of Asia's international hubs for finance and trade, Hong Kong has seen transformational growth in its payment environment in recent years. Driven by a rapid growth in the e-commerce sector, e-commerce sales in Hong Kong are forecast to register a growth of 11.1% this year. This is year one and is expected to continue the uptrend beyond the pandemic, driven by increased demand for payment options that can provide security, greater efficiency, and more customized solutions. The Greater Bay Area development is also expected to present vast opportunities for growth in cross-border payments over the coming years. And Airwallex, of course, Ripple enabled, so they're expanding card payment systems in Hong Kong. Meanwhile, guys, Ripple integrated Temenos embeds money transfers from Wise into core banking packages, brought to us by the Cryptic Poet here on Twitter. Temenos is to offer money transfer capabilities from fintech Wise to the 3,000 users of its core banking product offerings. Under the arrangement, Temenos customers will have pre-integrated access to Wise's technology through Temenos Infinity digital banking platforms and Temenos Transact next generation core banking product. Stuart Gregory, MD, Wise Platforms and Wise Business, here's what he said. Though an email today travels around the world in a matter of seconds for virtually nothing, moving money internationally is still incredibly slow and expensive. We want to change this status quo and make moving money as fast, quick, and affordable as sending an email. And I would like to say that I have heard this before from a Mr. Brad Garlinghouse. I believe he said this quote exactly at some point within the last 2 or 3 years. And, it's funny that a representative from Wise Platform, Stuart Gregory, is kind of parroting the same sentiment. So joining the Temenos marketplace brings us one step closer to achieving this mission. We know Temenos, Ripple enabled, and I think TransferWise was one of those companies that tested out RippleNet at some point in the past and wasn't too impressed from what I understand. They did do a trial and they were like, well, we don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if I have. I'm just thinking off the top of my head, just based on the years that I've been in this space, trying to remember. Was it TransferWise, which is now, by the way, called just Wise? Let me know down in the comments if I have that correct. Nevertheless, Temenos definitely Ripple enabled, so we do have that connection there. TEHOLBEDDICTXRP on Twitter posting this. Ripple ODL partner Azimo. What are they doing? Well, they are expanding into Canada. Azimo, which has operated in Europe since 2012, will now enable people in Canada to send money to more than 200 countries and territories worldwide. Key destination countries include China and the Philippines, which together represent 35% of remittances from Canada. All new Azimo customers in Canada will receive 2 fee-free transfers when they start using the service. These guys are targeting immigrant population specifically, so around 20% of Canada's population were born overseas. The importance of immigration to Canada's economy was underlined recently by the government's decision to open pathways to permanent residence for 90,000 people, mostly in healthcare. Yet international money transfers, which have only grown more important for families living through a global pandemic, remain expensive. Globally, sending remittances costs an average of about 6.5%, and now they're going to get that cost down, of course, utilizing Azimo service, which runs on Ripple, guys. So great news there coming from Azimo, and for residents of Canada now can utilize RippleNet through this new Azimo product. Switching gears a little bit, guys, to the SEC Ripple case. This from Michael at Val5 Links, and I mean, it's not great for Ripple, but well, let me just explain. So, in a legal win for the SEC, a judge has denied Ripple Labs' request for the SEC to stop using requests for assistance to foreign regulators to obtain information on Ripple and XRP transactions overseas. So this means that the SEC has now been granted, they're allowed, they have permission to ask for information or documentation from Ripple's clients that aren't in the United States. U.S. Magistrate Judge Sarah Netburn, in her ruling, also ordered the SEC to produce all documents obtained through the use of the formal requests. In addition, the SEC was directed to produce copies of all previously served requests within 14 days and any subsequent requests within 14 days of their service, so as to improve transparency in the process. And apparently the SEC will now also have to produce a privilege log when it believes it has a proper claim of privilege. So just kind of giving more detail as to what the SEC is and is not allowed to do. The court concludes that the SEC's use of the request is permissible and not an affront to the court's jurisdiction. So not so great for Ripple. Nevertheless, I don't think that is necessarily going to have a heavy bearing on the case. Ripple does have a case. You know, there's so much evidence to support the fact that Ripple is likely to come out of this gloriously and victoriously, as we've seen those little battles. This might have been a little bit of a loss, I'm not going to lie, but at the end of the day, there is going to be a ruling, and, the evidence that is collected on either side is going to tell a story. And maybe before they get to that point, they will even come to a settlement. I think that this is what a lot of us in the XRP community are hoping, just to get that clarity sooner rather than later. Let's not forget, next month is June, and we also have Flare Networks going live, so FLR tokens finally going to be dispersed next month. A lot is riding on this lawsuit at this moment in time. Once we get that clarity, we are going to see huge gains. And so, that happened yesterday in a spec market when the entire market has collapsed. Doesn't concern me too much as an XRP hodler. I know XRP is trading, at least at the time of the recording of this video, at about $1.18. But it's par for the course, guys. Violent swings in cryptocurrency. That is what we signed up for, or at least that is what you should have been signing up for. Anyway, gonna continue on, guys. I wanted to mention this, guys. This is the Kryptonaires documentary. Finally has been released. You can find it at kryptonaires.crypto-performance.net. I will link it down in the description of the video. And from my understanding, it's actually a free documentary. You just have to register here on their website, from Brad Kimes and Dustin Plantholt. And guess who made an appearance in the documentary, guys? Life's Tough Media. This is Dustin's Twitter account. He posted this back in November of 2019. Yep, that's me, yours truly, talking about cryptocurrency. So yes, I did make the cut, apparently, in the documentary. I'm going to leave this tweet here if you guys want to listen to me blabber on about crypto more than you already do. But anyway, the documentary is out. You can find it here. I will also link this in the description of the video. I just needed to take a breath. I know it may have seemed a bit crazy over the last 24 hours. The biggest crash since 2013. The spec market, a lot of people questioning it now, especially if they're new to crypto. But just remember, guys, you hold XRP. And if you hold XRP, you have more to look forward to than just the speculative market. I also just wanted to leave this here, guys. This from Bloomberg News. The token-focused approach is the wrong approach. Think about the networks. All tokens are about is to induce people to participate in the networks. The networks that win will have very valuable tokens. Let me play you guys this clip interviewing Brian Brooks. I think he nails it on the head. If you thought that the cryptocurrency itself was the thing to focus on,
is going to be, I guess, how people sort of view the case for crypto. Is it just a speculative asset? Is it a store of value similar to gold? Or is there a use case for it as a transactional means here? What's the argument that you make?
Yeah, well, look, first of all, let me just say that the token-focused approach to this conversation, I always say, is the wrong approach. So forget about the crypto tokens for a minute. Think about the networks that are the reason the crypto tokens exist. That's all tokens are about, okay, is to induce people to participate in networks. So forget about whether, Tezos or Filecoin or Uniswap are going to be more valuable tomorrow or less valuable tomorrow. The question is, do you have a thesis for the underlying thing that they're powering? So think about it this way. You don't buy Apple stock because you think that the stock is going up or down. You buy Apple stock because you think that iPhones are going to win in the market. And if they win in the market, then by definition, your stock is going to go up in value. Same thing here. If you think Ethereum is the best platform to build financial services apps, then ETH tokens are going to go up in value. Stop thinking about the sort of the technical analysis of the shape of the price movements and start focusing on the network that's being built. The networks that win will have very valuable tokens, and it's more like that than it is about the tokens themselves. So that's why at the OCC, we really focused on the idea that some of these networks are payment networks. They're being used by companies to transact value from person A to person B. So they should be regulated like SWIFT and the automated clearinghouse, right? It's very easy to understand that. Yeah. Versus other things like Filecoin, it's a decentralized storage device. It should be regulated like the cloud. Once you think about it like that, it's a very different.
So there you have it, Brian Brooks saying, don't focus so much on the tokens per se, but on how the network is built. Is the network useful? Does it serve a purpose? Does it solve problems? And in the case of XRP, guys, the XRPL developing like there is no tomorrow. This is why I bring you guys these updates. This is why I love talking about Ripple partners, utilization on the XRPL. This is what's going to give the token value ultimately. So $1.17, $1.18, guys, that's just the beginning. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.